I guess I want to start this off by saying that I'm not like bitter. I'm not trying to like talk crap about anybody in particular at all. Um, and specifically, I wanted to say that if you are, or I guess were, a fan of us in Out of Black, thank you. Your support and your, appreciation of what we did is the only reason we did it. And you made it worth it. You made it worth it for what it was. It was absolutely worth it. I also want to specify that I'm not going to say any names specifically. There's a lot of really cool people in the industry as well as the ones I'm kind of referring to in this. I can say for sure that like I've never had or heard of anyone having a bad experience with the guys from like Skillet. Every time I met them, it was fantastic. Just great people. But that's about the only name I'm going to mention because I don't want anyone to get singled out in this. So first of all, the reason Out of Black is no longer a thing, the first reason I can like pinpoint is that there's a massive amount of hypocrisy within like the fan base, honestly. And I'm like I said, I appreciate the support and the appreciation from all of you who may have appreciated our music, but there's some people, there's a lot of people who have this like this complex that if you're a Christian artist, you're a better Christian even than they are. And so it's like every time I'd be hanging out with friends, like we're at a bar or whatever, I'd be like, hey, don't take a photo of me. Like you can't post that crap on social media because like I'll lose my career. Because it's literally like that. It's literally like if you get caught cussing, you say, damn, you have a beer, you lose it. You're canceled. Just like that. It's crazy to me because so much of the fan base is like that too. Like there's a lot of Christians who listen to Christian rock, Christian metal, whatever, who are, they have an occasional drink. They occasionally swear, this, that, whatever, and they know it, but they'll crucify you if you do any of those things as an artist. That's a huge disappointing factor that I learned really quickly, is how easy it is to lose your career in this industry due to stupid little stuff that not a lot of people actually care about. Sorry, not sorry. The other thing is there's a massive amount of hypocrisy in the industry as well. There's like this fake ministry image. So like to break it down, the whole concept that Christian rock is based on is that you're creating music and providing like the word of God to people who usually wouldn't hear it, because you're bringing like a positive message, biblical message to a genre that is usually not about that. So the lie, honestly, is that the Christian industry exists to provide music for people who usually wouldn't hear the word of God through music, right? But the truth is they're just writing songs for Becky, which is the actual phrase that they use, by the way. This is like behind the scenes code, I guess. Writing songs for Becky. Becky's like the soccer mom, right? She listens to, Christian music, and her kids want to listen to rock or metal or rap or whatever it is. And so she won't listen to it unless it's Christian. And so they know that that's their target audience. The truth is that's their target audience, is like the Christian homeschool kids and like the youth group kids and Becky, right? And so they market it as if they're doing this ministry thing. It's not even about that. They know it's not about that. They know it's not about that. That's the screwed up part. In my experience with Out of Black, we got kicked off of 2 different festivals, okay? We got kicked off these 2 different festivals because we weren't ministry minded. That's what I heard through the grapevine anyway, is that we weren't invited because we were not ministry minded, which is really funny to me because basically what that means is that I didn't preach from the stage because that wasn't my thing. And I was actually pretty outspoken within the industry and within the circles that we ran with, that I was there to make a living, because that was my whole goal, is that I wanted to make positive music and I wanted to be able to pay my bills with it. And apparently that's not ministry minded. And so that means I'm not a, like, I guess they felt like I was like valuing money over people and like their salvation or something. Anyway, it's just kind of weird because they say that, but then like it's kind of a facade, and they know it's a facade, and they're selling this to the soccer moms and the youth group kids, and they're acting like they're providing this this outlet that where people wouldn't normally hear the word of God or whatever, which sometimes is true, by the way. I'm not trying to say that like nobody ever got help from a Christian band, because obviously there's positive stories, out there, and like I believe those. The thing about it is there's a lot of these ministry stories that just didn't even happen. So, I mean, I literally know people who will get on stage as a Christian artist and they will tell these salvation stories and these like miracle stories or whatever. And about, anyway, I could specify, but I'm trying not to call anybody specific out, but I know that they're not true. And like literally the band members will tell me, yeah, that never happened, but it sells. So we preach it. It's just, to me, that's messed up. To me, I don't like lies. There's a lot of partying that goes on that the Christian fan base would just revolt over if they heard about. I know one band in particular, one very popular Christian band, is they tour with an extra bus specifically for partying. Like I don't know exactly what that means. I just know that there's drugs and alcohol involved, is what it is, whatever. I'm not trying to pinpoint or judge anybody for whatever lifestyle they have. But the point is, like I had a band member who worked at this college campus that was a Christian college, and that particular band came through. I had heard the rumors about the party bus, but then my buddy called me and was like, bro, it's true. We just had to ask them to leave because he was running the sound. I guess he was like he's either running the sound or he was like a stagehand for that show. And one of the higher ups at the college discovered the bus, I suppose. I don't know the specifics of it, but he called me. He was like, yeah, that just happened. Party bus is real. We had to kick them out. It's hilarious to me. Again, not judging anybody for their lifestyle, but that's, it's just like this whole thing. The whole thing is about image. The whole Christian industry is about the image. It's not even about how they actually live or treat people or what their actual purpose is for creating the music and the shows and whatever. That's one thing, that's one thing to have these lifestyles that don't line up with the values that you're preaching, right? That's one thing. But the thing that gets me is how just awful some of these people are. Just like genuinely awful people. It just is what it is. I had an experience with the guy who I'm not going to specify, but he's in a pretty relevant Christian rock band. And I ran into him in public because, we all live around here in this like greater Nashville area. And I didn't recognize him because he was wearing sweats and glasses, and I just didn't recognize him off the bat. And he got so offended by that he went on Twitter and publicly called me out and was like, yeah, good to see you, Matt. And it's just like, then my fans are all like, wow, how didn't you recognize him, you idiot? And his fans are all like, well, who's this guy? Anyway, it's hilarious, but it's really dumb. It's really immature. But that's just one experience that I had. There's just like, there's a lot of like power hungry people, which is honestly hilarious because at this point, Billboard doesn't even consider Christian rock a genre. I was actually one of the last people to have a single on the Christian rock Billboard because it's literally not a genre anymore by the industry standards. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. They take it so seriously. And that's really the last straw for me on why we backed out, is because the truth of it is that there's absolutely no money in it whatsoever. I was under the impression that like, yeah, I know most of the Christian rock bands are struggling, but if you at least get to be like the top 3, you're making it and you can make a living, right? But come to find out, shy of Skillet, nobody's actually making a career in this. I kid you not. I'm in the studio with these people who I grew up listening to, and I'm networking with all of these bands that like I thought were just like the biggest band ever. And they literally told me that, oh yeah, the only reason we're doing this is because we have other sources of income that allow us to have enough free time to do this. There's absolutely no money in it, which is just, it's so bizarre to me because at this point it's like, we're keeping up the facade that we're selling music for the ministry of it, right? But then we're actually trying to sell it to the homeschool kids who don't listen to this genre anymore. Like, I don't understand it. It's really strange. The whole thing's freaking strange. But yeah, I mean, literally, I had managers who used to manage, like, name a Christian rock band, and they literally, like, I was sat down like 3 different occasions by people who were in the industry for a long time, and they were all like, dude, if you're trying to make a living, quit. Do something different. This is not your career. It's not an outlet. So that was pretty discouraging, but that was kind of like why we finally called it off, because we were like, man, you know, this is all a facade. Like, just go on Instagram, just go on Facebook, look at a active touring secular rock band, any of them that are actively like on the road and actually pulling crowds at all. And then look at their following count, and then the following count of like the biggest Christian rock bands you can think of. Shy of Skillet, I know that Skillet's really killing it, and I like them a lot. But any of the other guys, the numbers are just not there. Like, you look at the likes, the comments, the follows, it's not there. The whole industry's dead. Like, it's dead 10 years ago, dead. And they keep up this facade that it's all like we're all making it like I was part of this too, by the way. I was absolutely obsessed with the image of Out of Black, and it was like, we have got to make it look like we are the biggest thing so that people believe we are, so that they buy into it, and then we can, you know, gain a following. Which, you know, works, sure, but like at the end of the day, it's such a niche genre. You get to the top of it, and there's still no money. So, you know, that was disheartening. We had a lot of not drama. There was no drama between me and my brothers in the band. But it was just difficult. You know, it's a ton of effort to record. It's expensive to record, produce music videos, produce, you know, content for social media. And we got burnt out. So at the end of the day, we're burnt out. We're pouring our hearts and our lives and our time and our money into this band that we've been explicitly told multiple times we're never going to get what we put in back out of it. And it's not even for an actual ministry, because the truth is there's very, very few people who find that and find any sort of hope through what it really is. And, you know, it turns out it's not worth it to me. And so we had to call it off, because it was exhausting. It was exhausting. And there was absolutely no appreciation from the people in the industry. The fans were awesome. The few that we had were fantastic people. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's just, it's a lifestyle and it's a facade, and I don't want to live a lie. So I actually took off music completely quit music, sold half my guitars and backed out, for a hot minute. And I'm just now kind of getting around to trying to do something with it again. But I guarantee you it will not be in the Christian industry, because I don't want to be associated with those people. I would rather be associated with secular artists, because come to find out, a lot of them are way better people. So, hate to break it to you, but I really wanted to tell my story. I wanted to tell the truth, whether anyone believes this or not. I don't care. It's not me trying to like take down the man or anything like that. I literally just wanted to say what I experienced and kind of get it off my chest. So, for what it's worth, appreciate you guys a lot. Thanks a lot for checking this out. If you've never heard of me before, I don't blame you for never having heard of me before. But I'm Matt Black from Out of Black, and Out of Black is signing off. Appreciate you guys.